Chapter 7. We walked out of the room, and my sister was doing a great job killing any wild pet she found on the road, charging toward us with her arrows. My daddy, who had turned into a vampire, attacked us from the back, and I was shocked. Did the vampire turn my daddy into a vampire? Oh no, but merely looking at it, it had no soul and spirit. Me, who are you? Vampire, Daddy. I don't know, but what I know is that I want to kill you. It charged toward me, and my sister in my back shot an arrow straight into its heart, and it fell crashing to the floor, but not dead. I looked at my sister, and she looked blankly and dangerously back at me. Abigail, finish it off. This is not our father. I ran toward my daddy and pierced the sword into him, and he scattered into pieces. Abigail, that's not Daddy. It's not even his vampire form that the first vampire made mention he would turn you into. He was reincarnated with many other dead humans by some powerful vampire to get us killed. It's only his body and magic that's making him stand to fight us. His soul and spirit are gone to an unknown world, she explained, and I understood. She shot 2 arrows swiftly, knocking the 2 reincarnated creatures in my back. They walked slowly like zombies, unlike real vampires and humans turned into vampires. Both real and human vampires are very fast, but real ones are faster, except the human ones feed on more human blood. She turned swiftly and shot 2 arrows, knocking another 2. She loves reading about vampires back at home. Maybe her knowledge will be of some help here. We walked through a door to a very wild drawing room and locked the reincarnated creatures inside the passageway. We turned to our front and we saw many vampires looking at us with anger. They charged toward us with the speed of lightning, and I flamed in anger as my sword was glowing red and started burning in fire. My sister was not really surprised. She, being the best arrow shooter I have ever known, shot 4 arrows at once, and it got 4 vampires piercing into their skin. How she did that with how fast the vampires are and dodging remains unknown. I charged toward them, and I was amazed by my speed because I was killing them and moving fast, but not like the vampire speed. The more we fight them, the more they got as many of them were coming out from different rooms. I sighted a green oil tank capable of igniting a wildfire. I gave my sister a sign to shoot an arrow at the tank, and she did just that. As the oil poured on the ground, spreading around the drawing room, we made our way, still fighting, to the door, and I killed the vampire door guard and used his blood to open the door. I told my sister to go out first as I fought the vampires that came near me, and once the sword touched them, they melted into the air. A vampire looking more fiercely than the rest charged toward me with an unknown speed from afar off. Abigail, hit your sword hard on the floor with anger, my sister said, and I did just that. I hit my sword hard on the floor with anger, and it fired ignited, and the fire caused a ground split as it ran to the vampire king, knocking him out. The next thing that happened was that the fire attracted the green oil, causing a wildfire and a heavy explosion to ensue. I ran out of there and locked the gate, but the fire burst the door, and I used my sword as a shield against the fire as it threw me and my sister far away. We stood up and dusted our bodies. Abigail, this is an hell of a fire. Me, I never agree less. Abigail, none of them will be able to survive this fire because it will melt their skin away. Me, yes, judging by the fact that the fire is a magical one. We started walking away from there as the castle crashed hard to the floor, making a great noise. Abigail, I can't believe that our father is dead. Sadly. Me, yes, me too. Abigail, surprised expression. Why aren't the beasts coming for us? Me, I am surprised as you. My mind flashed back to the green stone I picked after killing the beasts. I quickly brought it out of my bag and showed it to my sister. Abigail, what is this? Me, I think this is what's keeping the beasts away from us. Abigail, this will help us live a better life in the village? Me, I don't think so, except everybody has one each. Just as Abigail was about to say another word, we saw a very beautiful lady from afar off looking at us. I stood on a spot as I was lost in her world of beauty. It was my sister that brought me out of that world with a tap. Abigail, I have been calling your name for the past 1 minute. Hope it's not what I'm thinking. Me, and what are you thinking? Unknown. POV. Narrating the story according to how she told me, but in her own point of view. I stood on a spot as I stared at a very handsome guy with a pretty lady beside him. They were bruised in some parts of their bodies. My name is Linda Jordan, and I am an orphan. My daddy and my mummy died in the hands of the dead when we were on our way to this land without knowing that disaster had befallen this land. My sister and I were able to escape from the dead before they killed us. We are just explorers, and we read about this land containing some special stones that have existed for some decades. We didn't didn't come to steal it, but to check it out, and if possible, buy it from them and leave this land. The book we read to know about this didn't mention anything like any disaster befalling this land. My junior sister died in the hands of the beasts when she made a little noise. A woman died in the hands of the beasts when she fell hard to the floor. And to all these, I got to know that if you want to survive in this land, you must learn to be as silent as possible, or else you will be dead and crushed. I am both an explorer and a martial artist. Exploring is our family business, but we also have side businesses, while martial arts are what I learned, and I am very good at using two swords. I would have fought back at the beasts, but I am still yet to fully understand their movements. What if they are many? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for the next chapter. Copyright 2026. All rights reserved. This work is protected by copyright. Reproduction, distribution, adaptation, or transmission of any part of this work without the prior written permission of the copyright owner is strictly prohibited.